Aloha, you are welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Radw and I'm a Ghanaian entrepreneur from Ghana, of course, and I have a skin and hair care brand called Made by Raj. Today is quite a different one. I'm delving more into entrepreneurship now. So I'm just going to talk about my journey, being an entrepreneur, what it's been like, and my journey so far. Let's talk briefly about what Made by Raj is, okay? So Made by Raj is a sustainable, women-led, Ghanaian-owned multinational business that aims to restore the confidence of individuals and improve the livelihoods of women in the northern region of Ghana through the application of organic skin and hair care products, namely African black soap and unrefined shea butter from the northern region of Ghana. These are one of our flagship products. So we have the shea butter whip. So today's video is actually going to be talking about the differences or my experiences doing business in Malaysia as well as Ghana. Let me give some context. For those who are not familiar with me, I went to Malaysia to study. I did my foundation, undergrad, and master's degrees in Malaysia. And thereafter, I set up a business called Made by Raj in Malaysia. That was in 2021 when I registered it there. And then I came down to Ghana, registered it in 2022. And since then, it's been operating both in Ghana and Malaysia. Our products actually solve various skin and hair concerns such as acne, hyperpigmentation, eczema, dry skin, dry hair, itchy scalp, psoriasis, scarring, so many skin and hair concerns. These are your go-to products to use. And so with each purchase that a customer makes, not only are they getting their hair and skin right, but they're actually supporting the livelihoods of the women in the northern region from whom we source these premium ingredients for the production of our organic skin and hair care products. All natural, no chemicals, so you're 100% guaranteed about the plant-based nature of our products because they are 100% plant-based. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about a number of differences. I have some points written down in my book right here, which I'm going to be discussing and sharing my experience based off what it is that I have experienced. 2012 was when I went to Malaysia. I've lived majority of my adult life in Malaysia. And when I tell you that the Malaysian system and the culture has rubbed off on me, I guess it's to be expected, 11 years. I always knew I'd have a company. I just thought it was going to be photography, makeup, and hair, 3-in-1 company, which God willing is still going to come to pass. Then when I was doing my undergrad, I said, okay, maybe it's going to be an advertising design company, only for me to enter into the cosmetics industry through my own acne breakout that I had, which I probably will insert some pictures here or may refer you to another video that I've done talking about how this business actually started more in detail than what I'm going to talk about in this video. So the first thing I've written here is that Malaysia has fast and efficient systems. So the thing about Malaysia is their systems work. Hardly would you go to a place or hardly would you even try to access the website and then it will say system down. Hardly ever is their system down. It works, it's functional. You don't even need to go physically to an office to get things done. You simply need to go to the website, do a few clicks here and there, and that's it. What you need is pretty much done. However, when we come to the motherland, my dear country, Ghana, the number of times you will hear the system is down, it's pretty much a frequent occurrence, which should not be the case, honestly, because if you have a system, it should be up and running, right? You have systems that you put in place to get things done more efficiently and effectively. However, they're not actually running the way they should be. So you get to an office, you try and get something done over there, and they will tell you, oh, the system is down or the network is slow. You have to go and come back the next day. What are you talking about? And that's one thing about Ghana. Going physically to an office gets things done faster than trying to do things online. And that's one of the challenges that I had when I was in Malaysia. Even trying to find shea butter suppliers, when I would Google, not much was coming up because Ghana, our companies are not really online like that. So I decided to come down 2023 and then I went up to the north, traveled there myself together with the business development manager of Made by Raj. We went there and we found a number of corporates who we shortlisted, decided that they had certifications, they met the standards that we were looking for, and also we wanted to give back to the community. So we found specific cooperatives and specific women groups that we decided to work with, and it was such a beautiful experience going all the way up to the north of Ghana and learning how shea butter is made, actually even making the shea butter with the woman, it was amazing. And I got things done so much faster. And that's how it's actually been. So when I registered the company, the Ghana side of things was moving quite slowly because no one was really 100% on the ground handling the business for me. When I'm down, of course, I'm the founder, I'm the CEO. So I'm going to get things done, you know? And that's been my experience. When I'm on the ground, I get things done, things get moving really fast. But when you go to the offices to get things done, it's a slow paced kind of environment, generally. In Ghana, there's not really a sense of urgency. People just move and chill, and it's as if we have so much time, but a lot of time is really wasted. A lot. I think if they were actually, they being government, if they were actually to do a survey or analyze how much time is lost in the Ghanaian workforce or workspace, they will realize that a lot of time is actually wasted and they need to improve their system. There's only a few institutions that I would recommend and even say that, oh, they're very fast. One of them is the Food and Drugs Authority. They were very sharp, and even in terms of how the officers walk. They walk very smart. They see you, they greet you, they direct you where you should go. Everything is, smooth and running. But some other institutions, not really the case, like that. But yeah, I can highly, highly, highly commend the Food and Drugs Authority of Ghana for their efficient and effective services. Yeah. Point number 2 is when it comes to Malaysia, shipping of products is mostly done via courier. So even if the person is in the same city, there are two main e-commerce platforms that people shop from. One is Shopee, the other is Lazada. So currently, Made by Raj products are on Shopee. So do check out Shopee to get your organic skin and hair care products from Ghana. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so even though they're in the same city, for example, you would send a courier to have the item delivered. So that's like you package it, and which is also why the packaging of the product from Malaysia is different. We have a box now, a brown box, which is branded Made by Raj. And then, of course, we have the gift box as well, which is available both in Ghana and Malaysia. But for Ghana, when customers order individual packages, it comes in a green paper bag. And that's because most orders in Ghana are delivered by dispatch riders or delivery men. Malaysia has that as well, but comparatively speaking, it's more commonly used in Ghana. So for example, in Malaysia, we have Lala Move, and then in Ghana, we have Shak Express. Lala Move does the bicycles, they do the cars, they also do the lorries, and then for Shak Express, they also do the bikes. I'm not sure if they've done cars now, but yeah, you have different options to choose from for delivery. So that's what I've noted. And speaking of which, when it comes to delivery by dispatch rider or the delivery man, in Malaysia, you wouldn't have a rider calling you to say, I'm even laughing because it's so funny. You wouldn't have a rider calling to say,
where are you? What's the number I'm supposed to call? Which area are you?
They won't ask you unnecessary questions because everything is in the app. Same for Ghana, everything is in the app. However, the drivers, even before they get to you, they will call you. Most of the time, they'll say, "Oh, I'm calling from this company. I'm going to be picking up this item," which is fine. But when they get there as well, when they get to your destination, you give them the item to take to the customer. They will now call the customer or even ask you that where is the product going to, which area are they going to, what's the customer's number. And my response most of the time is it's in the app. Like you just need to look in there. And they say, oh no, sometimes it will take you to the wrong area, sometimes the number will not show up. So many excuses that they give. But honestly, if they were to just keep their data on, so they will keep their data off sometimes because, again, cost of living is different. Malaysia, things are way more affordable. Internet is even unlimited. Ghana is capped. It's capped. It's so crazy. If you want unlimited internet, you're looking at the big corporates who are doing unlimited bundles of data because of the ridiculous cost at which data is priced at. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So yeah, Malaysia, you'll be there, you book it, the driver will come. The call that you're getting is, I'm downstairs, or I'm here, or Saya, I forgot to say I'm here. I think it's Saya dekat sini. Something like that. I think so. I need to brush up on my Malay, really. But I'm losing the Malay that I learned. I can't afford to lose it. I have to pick up my Malay. But I think Saya dapat sini means I'm here, right? If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Okay, so yeah, they'll just call you and say that I'm here. And then you go down and that's it. The next notification that you get is order has been delivered. And then they'll ask you to rate it unless the person who the item is being delivered to cannot be found or they're not picking their phone. Then they will call you and say, hi, I cannot reach this person, blah, blah, blah. And then you can sort that out, between you and the customer or you and the rider. But in Ghana, it's not that way. You get a number of calls before the item gets finally delivered to the customer. So yeah, that's one thing. Sometimes some drivers are really on point. They will get the order. They'll call you when they've got the notification of the order and they'll say they're coming. Then they will arrive at your place. Then they'll take the order and then that's about it. Some are smooth like that. But mostly the deliveries in Ghana are not as smooth as the deliveries in Malaysia. The ones by dispatch, that is. Third thing is in Malaysia, I, as an entrepreneur, I didn't have much visibility. I don't know if it's like it's not time yet but I remember February 2022, my uni did an article on me, which was amazing. It was my first feature that I got. And then in May 2022, Aleo magazine, they also did a feature on me, on Made by Raj. It was actually a piece on curly hair communities in Southeast Asia. And if you're familiar with how my brand started, it was actually focused on hair tutorials. So I would do a lot of tutorials with my hair and yeah, just encouraging people to embrace their naturally textured hair. Like textured hair is hair that is coily, curly, kinky, wavy, along those lines. All right. In Malaysia, a lot of people straighten their hair. People who have curly hair straighten their hair a lot. People who have wavy hair is also a similar story. And of course, coming from Ghana, we also permed our hair, that straightened it. Actually, I found it quite ironic. Permed hair means curly hair. Like in Asia, if you say you've permed your hair, it means you've curled it. But in Ghana, if you say you permed your hair, it means you straightened it, like chemically straightened it. Something I had to adjust to comparing Ghana and Malaysia and the terminologies, or Asia and Africa, I should say. Because on a broader level, that term is widely used in most African countries and other Asian countries as well. The main aim of Made by Raj initially on my page, my personal page, was to encourage people to embrace their natural hair. And by the grace of God, I was discovered by an African American writer called Jada. It was so amazing to receive a message saying she wants to feature me. She featured me as well as I think 3 other ladies who were from Southeast Asia. So it was amazing. It was really good. Then fast forward to 2023. In May 2023, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center did a feature on me. It was by their Diaspora Investment Desk, which is headed by Marina Lamte. And I'm so grateful. She actually reached out and said she'd get her team to do a feature on me. They recognized my business out in Malaysia and what I have been doing, also in Ghana as well. And so that article or that magazine is actually focused on diasporans, people who of Ghanaian descent or are connected to the diaspora, and they're bringing investments back into Ghana or taking Ghana out to the world, which is what Made by Raj is about too. Yeah, so then that was in May 2023. It was super amazing. Then you come to March 2024. That was my first television appearance, and guess where it was? It was in Abuja, Nigeria. I actually got invited to a TV station called NTA Channel 5. And NTA is actually the largest television network in Nigeria. I went to Nigeria for a Global Share Alliance conference. They have an annual conference where they connect all the share players in the share industry, those who are willing and able to attend physically. We converge at a venue for about 3 days normally. And there's exhibitions, there's discussions, there's talks like panel discussions, there are B2B meetings, etc. So last year I actually was a speaker. I was honored to give a presentation on sustainable packaging solutions, and that was in Cote d'Ivoire. And we also exhibited the brand there under Made by Raj. And we made some sales. I was able to speak French actually to a number of French speaking or francophones. Yeah. Je parle français un peu. Et j'étude français. Mais je n'étude how I'm supposed to be learning. Yeah. Mais je n'étude pas how I'm supposed to be learning. Like the frequency. Yeah. Basically what I was saying was that I'm studying French, but I'm not learning it at the frequency at which I should be actually learning it. Then comes May 2024. I did an exhibition at the Ghana Exim Bank. It was my second time being invited for their Made in Ghana Mart. They have this Tuesday market that they, call Ghanaian brands, SMEs, to come and exhibit at their forecourt in a way to promote Ghanaian businesses. So I exhibited for the second time and I got featured on the front page news of the Business and Financial Times in Ghana. And that was on 17th May 2024. I was in awe. I was just like, wow, God, like, of all the people that could have been selected, it was with the finance minister who had actually met a few months prior before he became the finance minister of Ghana. At that time, I believe he was representing the finance minister and he was the MP. And also on the feature, it was with the Ghana Exim Bank management team, like the top management. So we had the CEO of Exim Bank, Mr. Lawrence Ejin Sam. We had the deputy CEO of Exim Bank, Ms. Rosalind Archer. We had the head of SME, Mr. Bright Darko. And there's another lady in the picture. I believe she's called Miss Nanama. It was just an amazing way to be recognized as a brand. And not only did they put that picture on the front page, but they actually recorded what I said, because they did an interview and I was speaking and they asked what are my expectations of, as an SME founder, what are my expectations of the government, etc. And what are some of the challenges that we face? And I said access to funding is really a major challenge. And so I'm looking forward to collaborating with the government to break those barriers down so that we can push Ghanaian SMEs, not only in Ghana, but beyond the shores of Ghana. We need to get our products out there. Gone are the days where we just send out the raw materials, other countries will process it and send it back to us. Now we are doing the value addition, right? So the tables have turned now, right? And we are sending that value addition products, even though we are still sending the raw products as well. Because even like my brand like this, we are supplying wholesale. If you're a company and you're interested in using shea butter in your formulation of your cosmetic products, we supply wholesale. We can actually do business together. And if you are a distributor who wants to take on our value addition products of the black soap and the shea butter, we can actually supply that to you as well. If you want the raw African black soap before value addition, we can supply that to companies who are looking to brand in their own company branding. We do private labeling and product customization as well. So there's a lot of things that we do in this business. So if you like to collaborate, if you like to do business together, do send an email. Probably we'll put it on here or maybe here somewhere on the screen or maybe in the description box. But yeah, do reach out and we'll be glad to see how we can work best together. So that was the BFT. And then comes August 2024. I was invited to Channel 1 TV to be interviewed for the This is Ghana exhibition, which was held 31st August to 1st September. Now it's very interesting because last year I actually participated in that. And I remember, if you're familiar with Nathaniel Bassey, he's a minister, a very, very, very anointed man of God. He's a Nigerian. And I think it was the 25th of August, 2023. He said he did a live. Sometimes he does what seems like random lives, but it's actually, led by God and led by the Holy Spirit. So he did a live and then he said he feels led for us to pray for favor and we should be expectant during that day. So I remember the cost of the exhibition was quite high, the highest I've ever gotten to know since I started doing exhibitions in Ghana. We're still on that exhibition run and grind because it's a really good way to get your products out there, not only for sales, but in terms of visibility, networking, brand exposure. In 2023, Nathaniel Bassey, he did a live and I prayed along with him. He said, be expectant. So I'd spoken to one person about this exhibition and then the person said, okay, so are you going to do it? And I said, honestly, it's quite high. So I'm still seeing, but I doubt, but I really would like to do it. That was a few days before the exhibition. Then comes the day of the live, the prayer. It was in the morning around 8 something. I prayed along with the live and that was it. Then in the afternoon, the person I had spoken with about this exhibition just says, I'm going to pay for the exhibition. Go for it. And asks for my bank details and I send it and the person sends the money. Can you imagine? Talk about an answered prayer. Talk about confirmation. Talk about God meeting you at your point of need. Or a missed call. I'm coming. Funny enough, the person is calling me. Let me call. Hello. So yeah, that's how the person called and then said they're going to make the payment, and then the payment was made and I exhibited, and it was an amazing exhibition. It was an amazing experience. The reach, the sales, it was by CCTV and City FM. They pulled such a crowd, and not just any kind of crowd, but a buying crowd and a very engaging crowd. So that was amazing. The reach, the publicity, the ads, like TV, airplay, everything was really good. I was actually the last company to register, and I got to stand with the big players, like the multinational companies. So I was pretty excited to be where I was positioned. So fast forward to 2024, just in August, I was selected by the Global Shea Alliance. Maybe Radw is a member of the Global Shea Alliance, and then they selected 20 companies in the shea industry. And then out of those 20 companies, they selected 3 to go on TV and to talk about the brand. And thankfully, Made by Radw was selected. So I, as the founder and CEO, represented the company, and it was amazing. People actually came to the booth because they saw me on TV, and then some also said, "Oh, you're the one I saw on the TV." And then when they saw the brand, they connected, the two. And yeah, it was just a good experience, and I'm grateful for every single feature and experience that I've had so far, both the good and the bad. I wish I could let go of some of the bad ones though. When I say let go, I mean I wish I didn't have to experience all of them, but everything is going to work together for my good, because Romans 8:28 says all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, those who are called according to his purpose. And I sure am called according to his purpose, and I love God. Yeah. The next thing is Malaysia is a melting pot. Real melting pot of different nationalities. Even a week ago, not even a week ago, it's not up to a week. Actually, it is. Today is Wednesday. So last week, there was another exhibition by the Association of Ghana Industries. It was called the Ghana Industrial Summit and Exhibition. Someone came to the booth, and she was from Namibia. When she said Namibia, I was like, oh, I have a friend from Namibia. Like, she was a really good friend when I was in Malaysia. And yeah, we just connected, through that. But I've met other people who have been from countries that I haven't personally been to yet, but I met people from those countries while studying and living in Malaysia. And so it's something that I'm grateful for. The exposure that Malaysia gave me to different nationalities and the option to even potentially visit those countries, knowing that I know people there, is something that I don't take for granted. So yeah, you're able to meet more people, have a good network in terms of your personal connections. And then on the flip side, when it comes to Ghana, I realized the networking is actually very strong, or much stronger, in the professional sector. So for me, as an SME, and I remember this goes back to 2021 December, when I used to struggle so much with networking. I felt like it was forcing yourself on people. In Ghana, we'll say "ahosheshe," but now my mindset around that has changed. It's a necessary thing that you need to do. It's more about getting to know people, building your network, and connecting with people who you can help and who can also help you. So I remember I struggled with it to the point that I said, God, help me. I actually made it a prayer point. I wanted God to help me with my networking, to build my network, and to know how to speak to people, because I didn't like to speak to people in terms of people that I don't know, trying to connect with them on a professional level. I would just stay in my lane and mind my own business. But God helped me, and the people that I met, oh my goodness, since then, people in high places. And I'm so honored to even have their contacts, to meet them, to be able to call them up if I have a question, or just, want to say hello, simply to greet, just to keep in touch. So yeah, it's been great, and it's only going to get better. The last point that I will say between Ghana and Malaysia is about funding. So in Malaysia, I find that the funding options are quite restricted. It's mostly geared towards Malaysians. When you come to Ghana, there are a lot more funding opportunities. I'm yet to actually secure funding from Ghana. I did secure funding while I was in Malaysia through my university. I applied for an entrepreneurial scheme that they had, and that they still have actually. And I was awarded 14,900 ringgit, which is about $3,500 at that time. That was really great. It helped with the business. But since then, trying to find funding in Malaysia, I wasn't successful, at least not yet. In Ghana, there's so many more opportunities, and they're focusing a lot more on women-owned or women-led SMEs, which is where I fall under, of course. So I'm looking to leverage on the opportunities that have been brought about by different, organizations, some of them being international ones, others being government initiatives. Check out my brand, Made by Raj. We deliver worldwide. And if you're in Malaysia, you can get it on Shopee. If you're in Ghana, or if you're actually still in Malaysia, you can get it physically from Lavina's Beauty Store. You can walk into their branches in KL and get your hands on our products over there. All right. They primarily stock the Shea Butter Whip, but let me know if there's demand for the deep cleansing soap, aka African Black Soap, and we will also stock that there as well. In Ghana, you can shop from our website www.madebyranchgh.com. All right, or you can get it in store at Local House in Osu or at the Made in Ghana Mart by Exim Bank, which is at the Africa Trade House in Ridge, okay, or at Ridge rather. All right, so that's it for me today. I hope this video was helpful. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye. God bless.